My name is Brick MacAvoy, and this is my Draw My Life. I am 14 years old, living in Hilchey Bay, Nova Scotia. You've probably never heard of it, but if you travel south along the Atlantic coastline, you're on the right track. I live with my two parents, Floyd and Opal, and my 4-year-old sister, Cassie. We all live in my granddad, Thaddeus's house that was passed down to Floyd when he died. Floyd hated Thaddeus since he used to hit him when he was a kid. You might think that make Floyd want to grow up to be a kind, loving father, right? Wrong. Floyd is the complete opposite of a kind father, which is exactly why I never called him dad or daddy. If this were a few months ago, I wouldn't even consider saying this to you, but Floyd passed down the family tradition and beats me, too. Ever since I was 6, he'd attack me for every small action he considers a screw-up. He'd always find some excuse to use his old boxing moves on me. My only lucky days are when he was overly occupied by playing Johnny Cash on his guitar or building a jigsaw puzzle. I've never loved Floyd the way a son should love a father, and it was very difficult for me growing up. I was lonely and had no one to turn to. I had problems trusting people. Back then, to me, the world was a cold, dark place that didn't care. Therefore, I started to bully smaller kids. I used to think I was just teasing, but no, I was a downright bully. Like father, like son. The second I realized I was becoming a mini Floyd, I stopped. Now to my mom, Opal. She works as a psychic healer, a complete scam, and couldn't care less about me and Cassie. Every time she leaves the house, she makes me babysit my little sister, no matter what. She never wanted either of us. I was created since Floyd kept begging her for a kid, and Cassie was just a mistake. That explains why she is so blind to Floyd's smacks and punches he lands on me. Neither of us had real parents, which you honestly cannot begin to imagine. I learned the rules of Floyd and taught them to Cassie so we can keep the secret about our family to ourselves. Things got so bad that I actually planned to leave my house the day I turned 16 to Halifax, where I'd finish high school while working part-time jobs to survive. I later realized that there was no way of me going because I couldn't simply leave Cassie alone to be used as Floyd's punching bag. All the odd jobs I've taken up, kids I beat up for money, and spare change I stole from Opal to save up for my leaving almost became pointless. My life was pretty crappy for a long time, until I started hanging out with the Langiels and Docker. The Langiels is a family consisting of a dad, Rolf, his pregnant wife, Marigold, their adopted daughter who's my age, Tully, and their dog, Caramel. I got a job scraping the shingles off their house, which meant I had to leave Cassie with Marigold and Caramel. She grew an attachment to them, but she never had before. Almost like a mother and a friend. She never had either, and having both made her happy and want to spend a lot of time with them. Tully is my now girlfriend, who absolutely hated me at the time. She said she couldn't understand why I would bully the neighborhood kids, but was so careful and loving to Cassie. She didn't know who my dad was and why she doesn't know anything about him. At the time, I liked having her not know anything about my home. I was scared that if she did, she'd call the police or social services and get me and Cassie split apart. I can get my sister lost in the system. That's slightly worse than staying with Floyd. Oh, the things I didn't know. After getting used to Tully and her trying to figure me out, she confronted me and told me about her biological father she told no one about. She said,
"My dad was a heavy drinker who liked to beat my mom extensively and throw me in the air as though he was going to drop me. When my mom worked up the courage and told the police, we were saved and lived happy lives ever since."
That day, I told her everything about Floyd and made her swear to not tell anyone about him. Today, I wouldn't have anything to worry about if she does. Docker is another neighbor who doubles as a garbage collector and karate teacher. He noticed the horrible bruises I had after I got into a big wrestling match with Floyd the night before, and thinking it was a psychotic drug addict, Snyder, and his gang who beat me up, he took me in for a few free lessons in self-defense. I was really into it. I ran in the morning and practiced the blocks in the garage. I got really good, and even used some of the moves against Floyd's attacks. I had to leave karate for a while because of Floyd getting in my way, and when I thought Docker would question my actions, he seemed to think nothing of it. I stayed away for about a week or two when I decided to call him back up and ask if I could join karate again. He let me in, but I had to pay like everyone else, and eventually Docker guessed that Floyd was abusive towards us. He suggested,
"Brick, just tell somebody about Floyd. I'll help you out if things get ugly."
Looking back, Docker was the one who really got me out of my shell. He made me realize that searching for help is truly the best way to go. For that, I am eternally grateful to him. Now, where am I today? Today, I'm in peace. I'm in a place where I can come home and not have to be scared of stepping on the wrong part of the floor at the wrong time. I'm at a place where my bruises come from falling down clumsily on the ground. I'm where I don't have to take large responsibilities like caring for a child. I can do what I want, when I want, simply because I want to. Today, I am free.